Hi everyone, I'm Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. This week I have another lovely lob to show you. I am just falling in love with these lobs a little bit. I looked at a couple of other ones recently. This is Forever Chic by Gabor in the color Walnut. And I can't wait to look at the details and show you how I customize her for myself a little bit. But before we start, I wanted to ask, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe below, comment and like, and we'll get started. Okay, so I wanted to show you Forever Chic right out of the box first so that you can see exactly what you'll be getting if you do decide to purchase her and before any customization has been done with her. I did want to mention I do have a piece of silicone tape here under the part line, and I kind of finger combed her a little bit, but there still is some of that zigzag parting. So we will work on all of that later, but let's go ahead and take a look at some of the features, and I'll do a spin before we do any work with her. So here is the lace front, and you can see there are a lot of delicate little knots here in the front. It's pretty well done. I do feel that it's a little sparse looking here in the front. And I'm actually thinking of removing a few of these knots here just to make that front hairline a little less sparse looking. And you can absolutely do that with these wigs. You can see it's also maybe not exactly straight. But let's take a look at all sides. Here she is, and you can see this is a beautiful angled bob. I just love this style, and I think you'll get a minimal amount of friction in the back because it's shorter. And then you have this beautiful length in the front framing your face. So let's take a look from the right. And you can see that gorgeous angle here. And the back. And the left. Just a stunning style. Now you can see she wants to fall in my face. This is often the case with these wigs that are very sleek. They do tend to do this, so I always steam those away from my face, and we'll do that together so you can see how I do that. So, all right, that is basically this wig in a nutshell right out of the box. Next, we'll look at the cap construction. We'll do a little bit of customizing that I mentioned before. We'll look at some styling options, and I'll take her outside so you can see this beautiful color in natural light. Okay, let's talk about the cap construction. So first, I wanted to let you know that I actually filmed this segment after filming the rest of the video. So don't get confused about when there's powder and when there isn't powder. By the end of the video, I had applied powder to the part line, and you will see the result because this is the wig after I filmed the rest of the video. And I did that because I needed to look into this top a little bit more. This is an unusual top construction, and I wanted to find out more about it so that I could share it with you. So let's talk about that first. Obviously, I've removed the silicone tape. You see a little bit of powder residue here. So this is a mesh material. This is considered a hand-tied top. That's how it's advertised. And you have a mesh material here. So there are two. There's one covering the knots. And then if we turn it right side out, there's another mesh material that those knots are tied into. I just want to give you a good close-up look at that. So you can see there's a bit of spacing, and I can part it there and get a little bit of a better look maybe. There's quite a bit of spacing, and then these knots. So I have here applied powder, and it's just a matte eyeshadow and a silicone tape underneath to help create that natural scalp appearance. And I'll let you be the judge whether you think it's natural looking or not. I think it's a pretty good look. I felt when I wore it and applied the powder that it created a pretty good scalp appearance, despite the fact that this is not mono top, it is a hand-tied top. Okay, enough about that. Let's look at the rest of the cap. So here you have this beautiful extended lace front. I just love that. It goes halfway down the ear tabs on both sides, wonderful for creating a natural appearance here along the temples. And you have a hand-tied portion here, which is a little bit stretchy. And then you have open wefted for the rest of it. And so all together, it's a pretty stretchy cap actually, and it feels very comfortable when you're wearing it. You have your ear tabs, soft ear tabs with metal stays inside. You have just a standard nape, not an extended nape. Velcro adjusters to adjust it to your circumference. So yeah, that's the cap construction. And I would say overall, it's a lovely cap construction. And I really do appreciate this extended lace front that it has. Okay, let's do some customizing. So I've put her back on, and just so you know, I did place that piece of silicone tape under there again so that we can see what we're doing when we try to create a natural scalp appearance. As you can see right now, it doesn't really look like there's a scalp showing there at all, and I absolutely think that adds to the realism. So what I like to do with the part line is I take a rat tail comb and I try to, unless I really don't like where it's parted, I try to kind of create my new part near where it's currently parted. It'll just be easier in terms of changing it. So let's just go ahead and run this down here and see what we can see. I'm going just slightly to the left of it. And separate it, and you can already see I'm seeing some scalp appearance there. Even with that brown material, I still think that actually is pretty good. Maybe all we need to do is add a little bit of powder to make that look a little more like scalp, but gosh, I think that's pretty good already. Okay, now it will absolutely not stay this way. The next time you take the wig off and put it back on, it'll fall right back to where it was. So what I do at this point, I'll take it, and before I steam the wig away from my face, I want to steam this part in place so that we've got that. So I have my blockhead here. And I have my eye steam steamer that is absolutely a tool that I love using. It's on standby here. So let's take her off, put her on the blockhead. And when you're using the steam on synthetic fibers like these, just make sure that you're not getting too close, especially to the lace front. And then the key, if you haven't seen my previous videos, is of course to let these fibers cool. That's how it will set in place. It's creating a new style, but that happens once the fibers are cool. They can still be a little bit damp from the steamer. You can continue to work with it, but they need to absolutely be cool. All right, I think that's pretty good. So the next step then is we want to steam these fibers away from the face that are just wanting to flop forward. I decided to do these time lapses because I'm trying to keep my videos short, and I already have a video on my channel all about steaming your wig away from your face, and I'll include a link to that in the description box below. I'll let this cool, and we'll put her back on and see what we've got. Okay, so I'm very pleased with how that turned out. You can see the part line there, how natural that looks with scalp appearance. I haven't even added any powder. I think it looks wonderful already. And the test, I mean, you get a little bit of falling still if you lean completely forward, but it's much, much better than it was. And you can always do a little more steaming if you need to do that. So I feel very comfortable with it this way. So now I'm going to try plucking a few of the knots in the front, and we'll see how well this works. I'm doing this with an iPhone camera, so we'll see if I can see the knots and just show you. Now I have a very pointed set of tweezers here. They are the Tweezer Man tweezers. I've had these forever. I don't even know where I got these, probably at a drugstore. But let's see if I can see the knots and do this for you here. It's gonna be tricky. So really what I like to do is go to the very base of the knot. Let's pick a darker one here. and just pluck it as close to the lace as possible. And of course, the most important thing to be careful of is to not grab a hold of the lace and rip a hole in your lace, because that will make it very difficult to repair. You can trim the lace back a little bit, but you can only do that so often. So absolutely be careful that you're only plucking the knots. And you can see I've removed one and just pull it out. And I'm just going to do it with these ones that are sort of at the hairline that are making it look like it's a little sparse. And another thing I wanted to mention when you're doing this is to, sometimes if you pull the fibers out, you still have a little bit of the knot stuck in there. So then I would just, with the tips of the tweezers, tease it until you get that out. So here we go. I hope you can see that on camera. I'm not able to see it very clearly myself, but there we go. That's a good one. Okay, so now you see there's that little knot is left there. So we're going to tease that. Just kind of scratch at it a little bit. Let's try to grab a hold of it again, maybe. I think I got most of it actually. So you just work at it very gently, very carefully, do a little bit at a time until you're happy with how that appears. That's already looking better to me. There are fewer stragglers sort of down below, and it's a little more straight. I felt like the fibers went down a little bit here in the front, but that's basically the technique I would use if I'm removing any little knots. If it's too thick somewhere, or if, as it was in this case, it just seemed like there were a few knots down low, making it look very sparse and creating kind of an odd transition. So there you go. That's pretty much the customizing I would do with this piece. So next, let's go ahead and do some styling options. So first, what I absolutely want to do with the style, and the way I would probably wear it most of the time, is to tuck the left side here. I just think that is a very elegant, chic look, and it really accentuates this angled bob. And then you still have these lovely longer layers in the front. Now, because my bio hair is dark brown and this color is walnut, I will use some root powder, and this is the Color Wow Root Cover Up in dark blonde. And you can absolutely use a root powder to either darken or lighten your bio hair, because I want to just create a little bit of a better blend. Now, I want to point out first of all that this extended lace, which I just love, comes to about, I can feel it right there on me. So that is really nice. And what you do have to be careful with though, is that you really tuck any bio hair that you might have right there under, so that it's not flattened by the lace and looking unnatural. What I do with my ear to ear, I have a Zara Light that has ear to ear lace front. You can trim the lace just all the way back to where the knots start, and that way you won't get that kind of unnatural look on top of your bio hair. But I think with this one, I don't need to do that. So I just take a little bit of that powder and I just apply it to the surface of my bio hair. If there's any powder left on the skin, I would just blend that in and just pull the fibers down a little to create a little more coverage. I feel like that is a very cute look. Let me show you that from the side. Next, let me show you, I've been enjoying this look lately with another wig. I just take these front fibers, give them a little twist and a little barrette. Clip that in place. A great way to just go about your day if you're working and you don't want any fibers to fall in your face at all. I love doing that. Then of course you can always just use a headband and pull all the fibers back. And again, this is why you're paying for extended lace fronts, is to be able to pull the fibers away from your face and stay cool in the summer months. So of course I didn't apply the powder yet on this side, and I do need to tuck just a little bit, either that or trim here if I'm going to be doing that. And then you can see that's just an adorable, easy way to get the fibers out of your face. And then if you want to, remove it and have it down again, it hasn't disturbed the fibers, and you can just easily go back to the original look. And then I tried this before, and it creates kind of a stubby little ponytail, but let me go ahead and show you the ponytail as well. Especially with the extended lace front, I always love to do that. And so I have my bio hair tucked under. Maybe you'll see a little bit of that in the back. So I'm not sure that I would use it this way because my bio hair is such a different color. And it's a little bit on the dense side with that ponytail. I'm only wrapping it twice, but let's take a look at that. Hopefully that looks good in the back there. So you absolutely can do just a little ponytail if it's really warm and you want to get those fibers off your neck and stay cooler. So those are some styling options. Next, we'll go ahead and take her outside and get a good look at this walnut color. Okay, so here we are outside. I wanted to give you a good look at this beautiful color in natural light, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about the cut on this style as well. I think it's just so elegant, and you don't want to miss the details because that's really what makes this style. So it is razor cut. And you can see there are just a few little layers, but this razor cutting makes it so wispy and delicate and fine. It really feels like human hair, like natural hair. And I think it makes it such a sleek, elegant look that works so well with the angled bob. So absolutely a stunning cut. And so let's talk about this walnut color. So this is GL10-14 Walnut by Gabor. And I have my little cheat sheet here because the GL stands for Gabor Luminous Colors. And I needed to look that up to see what that meant. And apparently it's a multi-dimensional shade that is created by hand blending tone-on-tone hues. And it is intended to create a perfect balance of subtle depth and natural looking highlights. So I think that is absolutely correct. This walnut is described as a dark ash blonde, and you can see that there are a couple of shades in there, but it's really blended so well that it's hard for me to even point out where the 14 is and where the 10 is. It's just, it has kind of become one color almost. But let me give you a close look at the hairline. There's the lace front again with just perfect knots and that part line. And I did go ahead and add a little powder to that part line. Wanted to let you know that. So let's look at that. Okay, and let me do a spin and give you a look from all sides. Here she is from the right and the back and the left. Just a very natural looking darker blonde or possibly lighter brunette, but it's definitely in the blonde family, and I think it's a stunning color. Okay, so final thoughts. Forever Chic by Gabor is truly a very chic little style. I think it is so beautifully done. I think it swings the way a bob should. These beautiful razor cut fibers are so delicate and wispy. They really do resemble natural hair and are perfectly paired with the style, this angled bob style. It just all works so well together. Also, this color, this walnut, is new to me as well, and I absolutely love this dark ashy blonde. I think it's very natural looking. I'm more familiar with brunettes, so blonde is definitely a bit of a departure for me, but I think this is a wonderful transition color maybe for someone who wants to try going a little bit blonde, because it still has some darker tones to it. So overall, I am just delighted with this lob, and let me know what you think. I'm very interested in kind of studying the lobs that are out there, because it is a style that I adore. I think it's nice and cool for summer, and you still have some styling options. I love the ear tuck. That's definitely my favorite look. So yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.